It's your girl, Olivia, the fearless educator, coming to you with another tip on using the phenomenal tool called Nearpod. If you have 6 classes, do you need a code for each class? This is a question we get a lot, and it all depends. So, for example, if you don't want to change codes during the day, you want all students to log into one Nearpod, you can. You can just have that code for the day. But when you go to reports, it's going to look a little different. You're going to basically have all of your students in one report for the whole day. So this might confuse you. It might take a little more time. If you're elementary, it's perfect because you have the same group of students. But if you're middle high school, it might cause you to look through reports and spend a little bit more time. Secondly, one of the key reasons for wanting to have different codes is you will get a separate report for each code. And so if you can get a separate report for each code, it's going to be easier for you to go and look at, oh, my timestamp is at 10 a.m. Oh, that's my second period. And then I can see 20, 30 students logged into that. And then I can even do attendance. I can do a lot more things by having a single code. Also, some people who have the silver accounts, you have a limit on the number of students who can join per code. So by having an additional code, you can have more students join, but under different codes for the same lesson. So let's just kind of take a quick look at how that might look. So I'm going to launch this lesson, live participation, and it's going to generate a code for me. And so maybe I have a website, maybe I have a learning management system. I can just copy this link or go to Google, and then I have this code for that class. And then I'm gonna say, okay, I'm good, right? So I have my code ready. But I want multiple codes today. So I'm gonna go back to this session, to my menu, and I'm just gonna say end session. Are you sure you want this will end the session for all logged in students? I'm gonna say yes, even though no one has logged in yet. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do live participation again. It's going to generate a different code for me. I can take this code again, copy and paste it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say I want to leave the session. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go generate another code, live participation. And you'll notice this code, oops, I ended the other session. I shouldn't press end. I should have press the Nearpod and say I want to resume it later. My bad. And actually it's good that I did it so you won't make that mistake, okay? And then I'll say launch a new live participation code. So I'm going to launch another code. I have another code here that I can copy, paste somewhere, and then I'll go back to Nearpod. Do you want to leave and resume it later? I say yes. So I can do this for, like I said, at least 6 times. If I want separate reports for everybody, but if I'm okay having one report for the whole day, I'm just going to use one code. And so I'm going to copy the link again, and I'm going to resume it later. Yes. And I'm just going to show you again, all of these codes are now here still for me, ready for me to launch at any particular time with the students. So that's a really cool feature. So especially if you have large classes, if you're a university professor, you might have large classes. I highly recommend you generate a different code for each one of those large classes. And so then when you go to reports, and this is going to work for self-paced lessons too. You might want to have multiple codes for self-paced lessons, only if you want those group of students only to be in that lesson for reports. Because really that code is tied to reports and how you want to go back and look at those reports. So let me see here. This one, I had one that had a couple sessions in it. So I launched, this one, trying to look for the one that I launched multiple lessons for. And okay, so this was one where I launched 2 different lessons at two different times, and each one of these would have been two different codes. And you notice the group of students are all together for that one code. But if I only use one code for the day and just had the students keep logging back in, it's going to resume on the last page. So if at the end of the lesson I'm on slide 13, when the students log in, it's going to be slide 13. So make sure you press the arrow button to go back to the slide you want your students to log into if you're using the same code. So I hope this tutorial has been beneficial to see what's the difference of generating multiple codes versus generating one code. And really the key difference is reports. How do you want your reports to come out to make it easier for you to organize, make it easier for you to review data from your class and make the best instructional decisions? Remember, if you want to know more about creating amazing lessons with Nearpod, you can visit my website at fearlesseducator.net.